Alright guys, before I started boring barrels today, I wanted to get a video of how to put these Pneumatic Assist Lite kits. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully this will be a good video for the beta testers or anybody who's interested to see how it works and what might be involved in it. So this is the body this is the main body that goes in where your three-way would normally go. There's no modifications needed to your body or anything like that. You just screw this thing in and it'll be ready to go. Screw it in, hook your hoses up, and you'll be ready to go. Alright, so this is kind of what it's going to look like when it's done, and I'm going to show you how to put it together. Okay, so first things first, let's put some O-rings on this the main shaft here, and these are number 10 O-rings, just regular old rubber number 10 O-rings. So put those in the valves in the seat there. Put a little bit of grease on them. Now again, I'm using you might have seen in my Pneumatic Assist kit video that I use this stuff called Super Lube. And I'm using that again on these. I'm going to go ahead and prime the surface of this. And now, I think the easiest way to do these is to assemble the front half and then put it in and adjust it afterwards. So to assemble the front half of the component here, we put this little ring on here, and this ring is this spring seat for the spring. So that goes on there like that. Then the spring goes on, and then you notice there's a flat on the stem of the valve. That corresponds to a set screw. What you want to do is you want to align the set screw so that it's going to be pushing on the flat, and just kind of push that on there. And the position doesn't really matter just yet. We just want to get it together. So we'll put a little bit of tighten on that, nothing too much. Now this now the rest of this valve body, the front end, just slides into the rest of the body here, and you'll want a drop of purple Loctite ideally, but blue Loctite will work as well. And you want a little bit of Loctite on this screw, and you're going to thread it into the back end of the valve core. You'll notice that there is a threaded hole on the back side of this valve core. So you're just going to screw this in, and while you're doing this, you can actually look down through the ports and see the position of the valve core, and you want to adjust it so that you just start to see the first O-ring start to show up in the first hole here. Then you want to back it off just a little bit just so that it doesn't leak. You might have to adjust this a little bit once you have pressure on it, but that'll be okay. So now while I'm looking at this, I can see that if the activation is good, and the first O-ring has to go all the way past the first hole. And I see that it's not doing that on this one. So what you can do is just loosen this up, let it out just a little bit, tighten it back down, and a little bit more. That looks good. Okay, now the very first generation of this, the alpha prototype, this front cap was threaded onto the valve, and then this was threaded into the back. And the problem that I kept having with that is there was no way to adjust either the front or the back because you know you would unscrew this one and this one would screw in, and then it was just a big pain in the butt. So that's why I decided to switch over to just the set screw on the front. Plus it's a little bit easier to manufacture and keeps the cost down. So now you're going to put in the fittings here, and these are standard 1032 fittings, and when they come to you they're going to actually be off, so it's a little bit easier for you to screw this onto your gun. So you're just going to screw that in there, give it a little bit of snug. Now I'm using a adjustable wrench, but you could just as easily, these are actually 1/4-inch hexes, so you could use, you know, just a 1/4-inch wrench. Snug those down, tight but not too tight, and there you go, and that's it. Yeah, so far the one that I've been using works pretty good. The only other thing that I might want to change is I feel these springs are a little bit too heavy, but I can't get any other lighter springs without getting custom springs made for me. So for right now, these will have to do. If you find, you can replace that spring if you want to, if you have one laying around with something else. But there it is. That's 2 done. So, alright guys, I'm going to get to finish assembling these things here and getting them ready and out to their beta testers. And I hope to see you guys again soon.